Maje follow.
Mama maje ngamoi wa bebe nini amarsane kachada adobato asira wala jifoko to abaka bak fatu yanji amin na janto yani mbitala no American tola ngadali lo fola no meyat na mbitaka wala ko na pati dingil lebe bantala jeto ani gambe ding ko tangal lebe bantala jeto inka banko tama nyamen janto ka bakatum fakata koyna kabo bar kata fa pasamas futa gambe dingilma na pati dingil al melan ka fa manke na pati din ni kacha bangol al halola anin ko melan ka fa nyanta kana pati ngaji ka sin na pati samba nyato wadale lan kilen ya kende data bantala ngamira samina membula na mirale ko non ka fa ko gambe dingilu ebe afrika dula ko dangal tole Sierra Leone Central African Republic, Senegal, and East Africa. So, Bobato, no Nico diaspora, Nyantal call for Bulandi call kono, maybe Taman Kotangolo, Bambun Baftal Fanamale.
Oh, wow, that's interesting. Ila nying tamo kono kusingaji watu wati likata ini gamen kakacha antonya tunya gamen jamal kafinti ini min kakacha kabo America kata Europe kata UK ni ba fola gunan Gambia no la sula quality bankola man sakunda mbe sirin biya jenya dile kabre ni kachata
bi Gambia ding fen fo be UDP le bang we parti ko tende to bang ila sula ku follow men katawnyante ikakang ila banku di ya kang sembo kama sekunda tolo ila afta masukunda menna wala mo iskarto fay omo ko malti ibulu pour carte fay diaspora voting omo ko malti and flanjang fanande memula suloti memula hamoti wala ka masukunda ja banko ka me yaron ka fako is corruption free corruption masukunda me ka ba corruption ba kella janto masukunda me yalam ka fako Gambia kolu la hajo ebe lola la puru kalo la nyama me alon kam ko mole jiko soto kin ka konko kele banko kan ka fukari ya kele banko kan jata kende abunda ake dula saharinti molka jata ken molka jaro sotanya banko kan the entire in the governance structure akla kulet me alon ka fuko Gambians melba in the diaspora ila sula kulomo fo be UDP le ban fo mantra UDP ban ba mo Gambia dingti bawo membe ke kan banko kan janto Gambia dingel melba bantala tata patito aduno do mandi bilari kan jeto adu lafto duno ni way bulari kan
ngaji fona mitinol ke mindo ko France and Angleterre and but you always ila message always was the economic situation of this country anu ngaji ko Gambia diaspora ko ni ajube ko memen fo baka carte fa barbi sinkiri jamaa be tolle bulo ko ni banko ka ya mira ko wosula ko be bul nyaadi le kaje ko dañi no nin kudol ka sonaya banko ka
well dañi ni si sono ya banko kan natna ngante usiti banko kan janto na kam na balu fanglo nke sene manda sene la dambarin ke sene ajama wala wana be full security sotla and ba nata kafako na buntu batar la bantale puru na full security sodo obe kole ala bake ano ni ba full security so la nyati na sene obundala le akana ke dala ko modam manti mo ko alenje ya tractor dan tang bondi yo londi ya natal balke ya kuma bal fo jeto hani anyanta kala modan datle ko nyantale na tu nyini foti alu no fomani lombang ete alu ndo ban foti alu lombang sene nyantale nga tru nga nyini atur jama atur façon jama na research section of agriculture isba nari yolo ke sembentu ya bake ye researches nolke follow sanefengla mela lon ka foko ninji man ko keta mete ite batano la ite batala ba yabe ye research ke fen melon ka foko wala ka sanefeng tat wala ka sanefeng tinya tumbolu offensive falo yabe adun kanadan karsat ngalo barbitu fonsi kul fanan keno ba men sol keleno memba ko tumbolte men sol keleno yabe na sanjama ngafuno ka foko water policy tatu na ground water nyantalo na ground water be level to malto na la capacity mumuneti yalo be bohos no drill kan dula be bari na wakan na ground water aka affect nyadile kan natra ka foko sama manano membe duma waysi mun ke no banko duma bari a fay ba ko la be nyim bani me yaron ka foko kabrin base fansab jani itamita base la kana ko kawru jidima bijeto o jidima wo nyanto mfamuna fanna wala nyadile kuna sino bundalto nyillam kut kama ka ko manzo kuna nyanta ka kuti dungala adu fen nak ni bakela woko dole kijeto so wolom na allocation na be do men allocate la priorities no nyanta ko long
when not in the question of the phone na nyim budget session o min tamito de Minister of Finance nyumba to la tata deputy bongoto nyinte men na fon kun deputy be budget o nyin they were debating on it ngaje ko allocation or ketare nyinam fanan sangola president's office and vice president office ikala nyokan bari nyina ngaje bondi nyokan ngamira and then president office da mangamira 700 and something million bari nte ngaje ni Minister of Youth and Sports you be 100 and something ni and first military reaction of the cabinet budget allocation olja
well ka ko yetalaro kele fankude men nyanta kudela yol bali kude kendola ya kudol dila me yala ko nugolu anun kul kensan le kude yol dila e ko ngefa nan kudele $700 million yoke office to la productivity mumunete president's office
yeah
wa kamuna produce bank wa kamemo bank wala na fa fengte maji mafuko president's office manyana allocation sort la
yeah
bari 700 million maji bi ka fuka nyanto sort la ado fem babe kata muneto jorolo
yeah
salaries personal emoluments ani ya yolo fufalti ya yolo kata walleto so ibe melkala emoluments in the first place imenta la workforce member in the presence of his jube is it necessary to have so many people in that office dol kata jeto yetaji kabri samanda fo wuraro fo tarana neji italo na menke
dol file from
hani kaito bukan kaito la me bulola but they're on the payroll
yeah
tamana kafa ko jannibo ko ba betale ba bekala office of the president inyante merla kake dulalto membo ko seno bunda yake funding ke wala dulato ajo la allocation jibe zero scholarships 200 million plus nina yas last 100 million scholarships natre telafta ma ko rokla funding ke wala pour ya karan sono yebulo wallo scholars allocation inyantale ya increase bari ki ya tala e ko president na hospital fu falti ya yola banko kan next year yoke 52 million ti last nyinanta me allocate fanya yo increase le for next year wala na ka ko ye kudie ye fan kudele mel nyanta kudie kendo sodla ye nuwolu nun kulken santa yala wolkan e ka fal kan fal le kudie sotle.
Do you believe konyi allocation or minke
men bandu wala fala ka fa fana ka president fala jo wala nyanta talala
President wala salary.
Absolutely.
Wul kebelo.
Wul kebelo.
Ha.
Wul kebelo wul kebelo for president la kado ko permanent secretary bank. No, let us be quite frank about these things. Adla kado ko permanent secretary. Permanent secretary will fight the kado ko beke.
Technicians, yes.
Yeah, nati. Advice, I assign. Abuka direction did at least the president. Abuka direction, my president could but not this president.
Abuka direction.
Honey. Nimuka direction di. Yeah, but honestly, president salary, my friend, you are not paying for rent. You mantra any utilities job. There's nothing. No ya long have depends on me ikang. Will came alone. Katu permanent secretary kayo mena wala su kuna depanso ka bolto de
hade ala corona
la fonke be ka bolto de afanan kara bana famin horoma e ka boleto yo compare wala salary compare with that of the president hanama adu kola nyim officiality mel bani ninkan including me ngole ko tukare al palas ni bunya palaso adinna ngado ko kaliya amma na kala kaf ko ngani bunya palaso ta kake kodi ni nendulate it should be service ya privilege le soto so kaf ko yana salary soto of that magnitude ni banku fukaro kan no wo manke wo member consent soto o manyana kala
kabri debate be ke kanunka president wala allowance na la salary la pa na la benefits all I remember nga deputy dol host jang ila argument mo wonti wolonko ning mansami be siring ni ala salary na ala package especially ala retirement package a former president iko ni okay ibaje lako aba corruption o talalale bayri ni mansa you know if you pay people very well abe ikabe corruption o talala
that's what manke argument daji kolomu there's no amount of money even mendila mola me yalo for his corrupt nature wa manke kumade kaf ko ni ko be corruption o fankala no look Tala, Dr. Marina. Dr. Marina Keba.
Yeah.
Ala ideology. Sadauda. I memfato. Mo be nyantak fem be palaso nyininka. O budgeto yo ke la karantati. Corruption. He was not corrupt. Wala salary munetino. Was pittance.
Yeah.
But I was attacking. Kava ko yung palaso yan ko. Dala nga yung kwambedo ko kila moli. Bunya palaso long. So ni bunya palaso din. Gana fo kombo kila ko din nan lati. Nata opportunity. May bafana opportunities to corrupt but na mamang trailer imari la daji koto. Adi imari mang ofiso nye mamuta ko. Ibakela fenyi nindulati. Yawe ning Josepha itatala noke ka fanya mino mbanyo manual nimba sukuta nyoli la sati wal muso lo gamus kadi no be ikame bedo kusangto ni abe wafi bulke matasila ino lo do ko babe to bulke mosila do sin air condition fonko kono kana fa yibul kemel wol diala ate the panso de panstakan
so ni UDP man sakunda nata if you become the next president would you look at revising salary
in fact I will lead by example e budget leke kavoko president nyanta nyine sotla and I would made it. In fact, last presidency, I made a declaration. Kavoko benefsari no bakotlemen, and I would expect ministers to follow suit. nada kafu comme nga confidence to te fature to ko ena pour nga do ko ke but yaja kafu ko be jola mena what someone wala you can decline can decline kafu candidate nta no but I would expect ministers also to follow suit. The only problem kafu can defend is the civil servants. Because they are very poorly paid. They are very poorly paid, and they are the people who have faldo wonyi. Itelekake. Ikabini misa kavmi sabenyi budget from coming, but the technicians will sit several months putting these things together.
Yeah.
Ninjo nyata kila. Wale nyata jo kendo sokla.
Me you from Celano because Kabribe no vice president. You know what I always tell people. When I look at people, and if I see otherwise, we'll bring it to the table. Kabribe Vice President Yara, what we can see was after 4, you never drove the office car. Nindo Kobanta, you were using your private car. You never lived in the vice president's residence. You always lived in your house. Even ngaminje ni model ni security budget. Ika yimbarial fengol minati ka masakunda kana million spend la cordato just for security. You never accepted all of that. Why was that? Why is this that you wanted to live, continue to live in a normal life? And obviously, fanang natra no ye fenke no masakunda no ngalong ko 2021 campaign for be campaign keta nyami. Tenum afintitano. Not any corrupt fenko involved that. So we could go back on record and say maybe that's something you will definitely
I'll definitely do it. Katu memo nka ya jaman ka criticize mena ka fuka manyi ka kulke manya na kala. Muna ya tina ntanya na lokala. Oda no okay, I'm not being truthful. Oto ya jame mba pokmol fokang ba kapaka hasidi akane. Anala masukunda be hasidi yalla kafu konyaje mbofola ma opportunity le serkake because government vehicles, why should you use them for your personal private business? Why should you amanya nakela and at the expense of the government we are criticizing Jammeh and the administration for doing that. If take tata position auto we yalon at one time Jammeh administration do tara position auto oni atina nyanto kela ko kome yalo ka konta la manyana kela nanyana talo kela. My conscience wouldn't allow me to do that. So really we are not in this thing. We are not in this thing. Kafoko is a money making enterprise. Money making enterprise. I would have stayed in a private practice, Nana international contacts, farms of solicitors, welcome represent Janto from UK, whatever. I'll continue with them. And I'll quietly making my money. I was quietly making my money before I doing politics. I would have continued in that if it was for that. But I thought the situation in the country was such, and Kili, and a burden was placed on me for me to take the burden. Ngata fana nyanta tilina moli yale. Ninga pala so nyin soto. Manya na moli kala selen dangti. Katawa pala soto. Melan ko peduma nke jube. Really, Dama Kafuko, all arguments because you want to get ministers nearly free from corruption and those sorts of things. Yeah. In the first place, in fact, every minister should be able to live on his own without even being appointed as a minister. Yes. You should have that ability, that capability. Yes. So that ni bota minister yala abuke do ba yala you are doing something productive. See find someone in fact maybe see find someone better than ni minister to automen usifa le nyanta talaka wala sifa le nyanta appoint last ministers but me la non kaf korele ni obani minister yala isi jakali all the documents that was problem. No
problem. So do you think these allocations in the budget reflects our national priorities? Debt servicing. is takes half of our budget.
It's almost like one quarter. Almost one quarter of our budget. That is unpardonable. Muna ya sabu.
Wow, ngajulol melta.
Ngajulol melta. Ya, adu wajulolu. Abumba betata. Sanji woro wula uchole kono. Sanji tansa bo mentambita.
Niabi lafa.
Sanji tansa bo mentambita. Ani
jawara time morning barot jamme time niabi la nyoka. Mineta 7 years wala siata. One usab is it because tinyar bale ketanu nying sanyi moni lulo kono man sakunda bole derakang fo barinte jikita ko fanang goodwill min dunta nyim banko kang nyi 7 years okono aman dum banko kang any time of our life. I don't think so. Why do we munana kodi jama tata mo julo siata bar kono min fanan dunta siata le munatna mune wosa
yalo mfanje alinje dokuo julo jama men tata wala mo kole ko yole ke bankoto silolo mo ma fa silo manyana dokula de wala silo nyanta dokula de bari momo ni bela sumang bonla ikela buntun kono jubela ila sumang be nyame ikana fo ebe bawo manu bawo jufonko nyo padun tan bi jeto awe adu nyo padun tan asita til tan la nyo padun lulu be bondi e ko bo be surala yo be do lunkilin kono aka problème de moma fa silol kana do ko bari kana nyin julol ta ko be silol do ko la nabe kala fanan nyantale ila programme wanye ya graduate ni yak in stages bari afu ko be sapla be kan sinya kele hakala sanji joleta
meta kabirina
sanji jol
meta
kabirina masankoto
meta
kunun ko ka banta o wucce ko no ko do damman na kata don ko be jedo ko adu ab kakimuneti julo anu julo nata da faijo
pasijo na current debt is at 139 billion 70.4% of the of our GDP as of June 30th 2025 139 billion
anu is going to increase
ni atalante man tol mo juli jere ben
is going to increase muringlu
tabana jol
and it's going to increase it's going to increase kato government imam pare mezo stala me yalon ka foko na productive sectors no janto finance la nyama so that na earning capacities increase no ye ko di tourism la kodo investment in tourism is negligible. Every year, tourists every time they'll come to see the same thing. No more not one twice. There's nothing interesting. So in the products, there has to be variety in our products. Nyanta sell to the tourists. Naba yata ya di tu babol ajate nyame yake. Mo faso mo mana mano fe bebinala in our territory ibe fishing na jeto nita tata carton beaches nyolto wala sanya nyolto yena foko ika mira ka foko sa tolle be na bakono balla ibe ika kulu lazima be na kulu ika mira ka foko sa tolle be jeto wal be ibe illegal fishing la mantra fenke kan me yalo ka foko na marine resources nyolo nyanta ka protect na ninga protect fana na exploit pour banque ding la na fana na info ka cha dolto go banque ding lu me yalo ka foko fen soto to kare ibe bullo kan pour kake holiday homes nyolti abete ata barin ko ya kafu nyoma ya trawlers nyol sang so that na Gambian companies na Gambia dinglo na marine resources nyolo is exploit no le trawlers nyol sang ila catches nyol ibelan la janeto banana ke process ya export bari I don't mera Gambia companies bijanto mera kaf ko their own trawlers mamira
I remember any.
Mamira. And ngamira kafko nyinem kuti masakunda nyanta men encourage la. Now there was a time we had a fish marketing corporation janto no.
Yeah.
Okay. Well fatale but even during Jawara's time. Bari femanya na mol balila Gambia dingul melan kafko fence auto. Yellow resources nyol put together. And in this regard I think this is one of the things they know. Diaspora, apart from remittances, only kamenke.
Yeah.
For the family upkeep, or remittances only for family upkeep. I don't think a significant part of it is in investments. Not in investment for abetarla in real estate investment.
Yes.
But this type of venture, the Namira Nyanta Yoke. You know, all their resources together. I know there are, very entrepreneur oriented individuals among them. You know, the business acumen is very high.
Yeah.
And they know in what areas investments can have good returns. You invest in the economy of the country, because one thing we really want, that the economy of this country be controlled by ourselves. It doesn't matter who they are, but I keep on doing it.
Yeah, that's important. That's important. For my final question on the budget is the youth budget. The youth allocation is 100 and something. And I look at that, for me, but I look at that. If you want to have an idea, more priority, if the over 50% of the population is youthful population, but iko 100 and is, I think, Ministry of Youth last winna kudo de ata budget obe kono tolla bari iko funding kila nafa be nyanta bolo world ila development and skills training and ko be nyanta bolo kono compared to other areas. We are spending 2 billion on Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We're spending almost $1 million on Office of the President and other areas. What does that say about Mansakundala Hamu pour funding kir?
Ila hamenta yoda mani tandidi. Ila hamenta. But it near for a careful about matters affecting is cross-cutting. It's a cross-cutting issue. This
is youth and sports.
Not as cross-cutting issue.
Yeah.
Now, investment may happen in agriculture. Segregate bank. Ya fanyako na me allocation make agriculture. This part of it. So this percentage of it is for the youths. Tell me, neighbor no a segregate in your bank. This part, so much of this is for the youths. Now bad use like juice for livestock. Bad land business like for poultry. Yeah. They will not be able to do it. Kaniko is cross-cutting. In the health, the allocation make a health. Tell me, that allocation, what percentage of that is for the benefits of the youths? So don't tell me Kavoko, youth from is a cross-cutting. Ila ministry youth empowerment, all their male should be controlled by the Ministry of Youth and Sports. So for me, it's really a non-starter. It's not an argument that is valid. It just shows kwenye manza kunda pendike la kuo amamke la priority. Amamke la priority at all. Yes.
Yeah. Now let's look at the people so on Wimblecon ongoing right now. Ngaluneko constitutional mandate lam mi alonko sawo sang president wonyanta tala sinya kile waram fula purane banko dingole kacha kila ila sula ko fa ya na ta fanana agenda munati for the year banko la direction of tembe da minta lafta minna. We will come to the messaging, but I want to look at the budget of the tour. In 2020, National Assembly budgeted 6 million, but being the people tour, they spent 32.6 million. In 2021, 36 million was budgeted. They spent 43.2 million. That is 2021. In 2022, Ajita, 6 million was allocated. They spent 25.3 million. In 2023, 10 million, by 6 10 million allocated. 61.36 million was spent. Yeah. In 2024, 30 million was allocated, and they spent 64.67 million. In 2025, 40 million is allocated. Malo Jela spent
70 million.
Malo Jela, and in 2026, they have allocated 52 million. At some point, some member fell a million Kemela to meet the people's store. This report is telling you that 52 million was approved for the Meet the People tour between 2020 to 2024. Yeah. But 226 million was spent. 290% over. That's about 168 million. But these are things that have been allocated by the National Assembly. The executive yala power soto, National Assembly yala power soto, judiciary yala power soto. If the assembly allocates this much, 58, and you end up spending 228, what are the consequences? Well,
unfortunately, no laws any provision for that. You know, and I think no Keta, the accounting officers was responsible. I mean, it should be surcharged. Should be surcharged, or National Assembly to refuse to approve a supplementary appropriation bill which might allocate additional sums for this Meet the People tour. I mean, after all, you are given an amount. This is what you must spend on this particular project. Why do you have to spend more than that? Why? What justification do you have? In the first place, I think the National Assembly should say, we are going to, really provide money for this category of officials. On this Meet the People tour. Yeah. You cannot take every Tom, Dick, and Harry. I mean, public servants who have no place, on this tour, because their presence is irrelevant. They just swell the crowd. But wakola fana, in a mul soto jeto, well, they are not even in the public service. Yeah, and party supporters. That should stop. Yeah, Jame, he was wasteful. But in my mirror, I will spend more than $10 million on any Meet the People tour. I don't think he did. Why should we now be spending $50 million? That $50 million is Satanole. Yes, and fertilizer Jamal and Jamani Jama Yadi Selala free. Buy a bit of code Passaprasola. No, this Senala, what was Senala Nafala? Or 50 million. Zatale, your boreholes you'll sing. Dulalto. I was watching on the news, Woolley. The borehole to avoid all another jet, I think Spanish no, the borehole sinjeto. And you be able to this long overdue. Deputy from Bijeto, the National Assembly member. I think Woolley West, Abijeto, Deputy Governor Bijeto. And I thought, this is shameful. In the community, people coming from outside, when we are spending millions of dollars, kata fonkola kata tola.
So what
this 52 million in Memphis, spend 12 million on mid-palm farmers, which I don't think was even necessary. The 40 million, how many scholarships will that give? Almost 1,000 students would be sponsored from that. Now, you want to build a society, a knowledge-based society. Society may allow for Kafka. I mean, the kids are going to be skilled. You train them in various skills. Or could you pump it in those areas? The skill, bending the teacher in various skills. You know, never pass out la. Ila joran ibe sula la mella. Incompetence nyolo. By the kids for the male of ordinarily, this one, nim plumbers nyolo, nim mechanics nyolo. You do that. And then you push them into the wall. Yet, let them fend for themselves. They have learned a skill. They have joran bebulu. Ila doko jisake mo nyamen. Yeta dunia kono. Mel kunfata, well, they'll make it. Electricians, well, $52 million is yata. Really, Banyanta Balo, Gambia government led by Baro, Anyan Balonyanta Fala Gambia Diliele, the Balo family, Paluabo Colearin, Kodoni, Kana Pasar Pascafu Habijero, Manyana Kendle, Ibatis Iba use line this way. You have conscience. Como le lo con natal por calma koi. Iko bakar la ito company ko man bought to betala $700. And that reminds me of 1996.
Yeah.
The video bitakan I was in Garawal lumman nangoja. I looked at it and go, hey, this is Ousainou Darboe.
Oh wow, in 96, right?
Kangaji bango, this is Ousainou Darboe. And you know, man, I just said, look, these elections, don't vote in Gambia. Because if you do, man vote on you. Albasana, $400 or $500. That was my prediction.
That was 96.
96. The video is going around. Now, need a promise call. The man bought him back to $700. In Yentale, ila Department of Agriculture. Ini wal nyanta nyomola programs mela mkofko rice production in Bangkok about increase la. And then the importation, rice importation about reduce la, because you have to have honey bastagala, you know, for a period of 5 years, so that you would cease to import rice in your first 5 years. But you have to invest in it.
Yeah.
And investment ni bakala ibe ifambala kulela, like the salary increase for the office for the president.
Yeah.
Ibe fambala wala the salary be increase la, I increase messengers nyolu, you know sinding ni police sinding. But the political class, the big political class, no, they should not have an mamra wanyanta political wanyanta increases no sort la. Okodolo. Yeah, man. Yata ando kola fana ibe makoro men fana sort la. I don't know what happened to the 50 million euro Amarsan and I got from France. I don't know what happened to it. It's supposed to be invested in the agriculture sector. We don't know what happened to it because that was not to boost up production, rice production in the country.
Yeah.
But then, really, you cannot have this type of budget and then expect Kafoko, the productive sectors of this country, be survive no. I mean, they'll perform the way they will perform, because if they are underfunded, they certainly will also not be able to do to produce or perform the way they expected to perform.
Me now thought about on the messaging, but if emergency, Amadou Sane, and I wanted to come to the vehicle policy. Kabra Albeman Sakuna Amadou Sane, when he was finance minister, he came up with this vehicle policy. Me algo mojama believe the kono new when in effect be at least the expenditure on vehicles would have gone down. Being a motor and million ton fula and honey simple advices will be in million ton fula motor borga. But you know, this report by Gambia participated because since 2020, Gambia government spending on vehicles have reached a substantial $5.3 billion, covering vehicle purchases, maintenance, and running costs. The highest expenditure was recorded in 2025, $1.2 billion, followed by a budget of 2024, 1.120, mainly due to the OIC vehicles, obviously. But in 4 years, 5.3 billion on motor dama, motor learning costing. So how? Because come here for when you invest on the productive sector, akafene yilna. But motor value near salumina value
it starts depreciating.
So how is that anyway effective for the growth of our economy?
Well, it doesn't. I mean, it certainly weakens the growth of our economy because kodoni anyanta kala dame imanta ke kanwoto amanya na kala dame ka ke waldo. Yeah, well, vehicle policy, of course. Baro government, but we always call it Amadou Sane policy because as Minister of Finance initiate, and it was approved by cabinet, and of course, what that year's budget took into account of vehicle policy. The service member kala $300 million, the service member kala jeto, applying that, to the productive sectors of the economy. Was agreed upon, and National Assembly, your budget year passed. And it was in basis of that, the appropriation bill year passed, the appropriation act for that financial year. When government reneged on it, I think probably one or two members of National Assembly should have gone to court and said, look, we passed this bill. This is the law. We are not going to allow the executive to really renege on that because it was already passed as the law, as a law in that year. So the National Assembly should have only at best they bring the Minister of Finance, whether it's Amadou Sane, who was Minister of Finance, any other Minister of Finance, to say, look, we passed this bill here. They are not implementing it. Why? That would have been one of the greatest oversight functions that the National Assembly would have performed. But just slipped off. And then, as you see, instead of saving 300 million, now it's increasing into billions.
5.3 billion in 4 years.
Into billions.
5.9.
How can you really re-energize your economy if the assets in which you can invest are depreciating assets? If the assets no longer they appreciate, then you can say, well, yes, Babylon for this time, I'll dispose of them, and then get good money. But Malakaf is depreciating by the day. Yeah, and the accountant knows if and when they are depreciated and so on, then after 2-3 years it becomes worthless.
They buy a new one.
It becomes worthless. So Gambian ko nyanta mello na walong kafako barona la molu. Sidiketa sama ngamira sama la bita ko ba fola. Debite bunto. Mantra ke kampur Gambian ko la nafakan. Ibake kampur te fang la nafano. Kata nyima to kutabal sa ebe workshops nyol kala seminars here and there. Ministers nyol be yaila. Meeting no yalong kafako really permanent secretary nyanta dal kata meeting mento. Munana minister nyanta dal auto. Meetings melang ko technicians nyono. minister bitala wot hanna rafana safang in the ministerial committee lamu wallahi ministers nyol dodo they will say look PS you go and attend this meeting.
Yeah.
Just as the president could say, foreign minister, you attend this meeting. So that the cost is considerably reduced. Because vice president, any of them need travel at any time, and the cost, is higher than that of when the foreign minister goes. You can have those delicate responsibilities. Bankundim fentembulu, a manke kafko malafa kala bar baitan kamola le kafoko really nyanta nyinekela. And one thing really, struck me, Nimbe travels. One, as minister, I'm in a business class. Maybe the director and some other person, may encounter technicians who are going to do the donkey work. They're in the economy class. Tight and comfortable. Maybe when we arrive at our destination, I'm in a luxurious
hotel,
luxurious room. Maybe share the same room, but very luxurious room. Everything, at my column. But those technicians, they are not enjoying that, and they are doing the donkey work. And I thought we should really think about. We cannot travel business class. Ibita Melia, Kafo Komakwe, well, that they were officers of your own rank, they travel economy. A typical example is China. High, very high officers, they all travel economy. Itabita Walia Makwe. You travel first class. And maybe sometimes you travel with some of them on the same plane. These are things me along Kafka really need rethinking.
They need to rethink.
Mukulet me along Kafka really. A manjare fan Kafka Maya for you see Nyanta Silal Kafka for Nyanta Yinakalabang. And you cannot get engaged in those type of things. Natra Kafka, you don't empathize with the people. If you don't have any empathy for the people, really, you cannot think that way.
So going back to the Meet the People store, is the message also, me alonko. I remember last week, normally they went on Vox Pop. Normally, Fembe hearing, we'll just go around the country, and we were just gauging the opinion on Mole Meet the People store. Jama ngamin the video to the Nole interview ko. I feel like it was more of a political tour. Message of member campaign yola manke pankola na fakuti. Meet the People told a message in Kenya.
Well, certainly, in fact, Nimenko Nimanke campaign toti, Amari Mantara young folk are men into Nyamuliata. Really, Najube. Lua meant for about Meet the People store. Because some was some President Nyanta Talale, that's Lua Nyawanya, senior killing. Kata Banko Kang, Kajuba Maralo, La Mansukuna la Marlinya, I mean, main cake Kang, Banku Dinglia. I lama Banku Ding Fanala Sudola. But Nintonin, Mama follow any serious statement or government Masakundala Longkang, Masakunda Menkan Kambanko. It can Menkata Kusiros and Kafo, Mamma. A
Borko Folko, Bako Loptano, Boro, Akohana America, Boro Dakwati, Ako Molka America, Canadian. Bariano, Loptano,
Bariano, Fatu, see, with all due respect to President, Yala officer, Bunya Palas Balomo. Bunya Palas or Kamala, Waliata Kumodolo. Asuti nang la nyawo nyanta.
Tafono.
Kat nunga fo mo palaso ni bole do ya kan. Dum manya no palaso do ya la. Bade president fan ya lonne ka fo ko. Abu kuma fo kan tuma mena. Ajututo molle la. Bedi am kameliya. Ka ko wallahi akilo. Ajuta walla. Moy brana kulintilal America. Kana janto. Ko bina jaro rol.
Abra mo fin jaro rol. Amal loptano fo.
Ko wadu mota bal America ko bina jaro la mo bina mo fi jaro la munna mo fi jaro mo fi bina wala munna la bar bambe ma ajutu wallahi ajutu mo la ko batu men dia tanye na foy iten sosola bar mota sosola fana ba kulamu na ya fo amanga kaf ko ni be kacha kante yan fo mi yan jakande woti je
hani woti je
bar be ngalo na kaf ko wota kenola kunu tata Sarakunda hospital tata mole jube bar ngata ya discharge ban nim mo ben nga mellong ko ala badi ya men sama loptano to yole landi jeto ya samba tata ya operate itata borol lesang aye itandina kunu aye itandina Baru nyum manke kulo di banko kanjang. Kafu ko ini tata laptano to. Mia boro safe. 90% of it all. Kurang tuan yang wala kasang. Go denanul. Denan sabakela larang kilingka. Mana kenapa kafu ko kual baragilan na laptano kono janto. Mana keno la kusotorente.
Never example of President from Obama, Gambia loptano imasa manogoto. Because I say if the healthcare system was really good, there was not going to be no need to kebasa for Senegal. I think that's why we need to
yes, again, yes, again, Tonya mobile kasasa and again, you know, many mukala for reference la. I know that.
Healthcare better.
I know that. I know that entire reference la muskebanya na bar sa reference men ko kavoko munayatin you have a budgetary allocation for overseas treatment nadra kavoko na lopta no na all our problems our health they can take care of them why do you have to have that
overseas treatment?
Why do you have to have that? And this overseas treatment not for you, a Gambian citizen. A Gambian citizen, but not for you. It's not for me. The ministers and some of their top officials. Well, never enjoy that. You know? But between the banding member Darboe, no one mentioned no bands and loptano. Maybe I know banyu di janto. You know? The overseas treatment, they cannot benefit from it.
From that.
Yeah.
I think one of the other things you don't manke to for but me alonko you my president ko nyinang iko sefol ni alkalo be campaign kela president oil andungamira one of the main reasons Molo 2016. I remember this was honey after 2016 from 2019 President Barrow was very, very clear. Kafuko alkalo ni say for Amanda Fiedum political kono because imo traditional leader. He was very clear. I keep seeing that video popping out. But in Inang iko tonya say for ni alkalo kato ako ateleki tomo. A point. Salary dealer. So they are under the president, you know. Ako justice minister.
Anyway, okay. But let me thank I think sometimes more kanjinale and or transition yolo another manjinala, but we couldn't care about those wars. Adum bukata fanan kavoko be palaso mento ninga kumofo mol bajala nyamen natra moke fenti woto mbetula kalaw kumo damane kala well in the first place ko tele kalo tombon bare afa do wal kalo retel bu ko tombonde
do wal kalo to bugo
afa do wal kalo do bo khalifa même khalifa do bo yama sin le budget même khalifa wala ka ko kare kasate mol tombo kili ka ko kare nganyina entel nganyina mota nyina mundal ka doti masa kuna bukandel alkal tombo ado masa kuna tentel alkal tombo nanyi ado masa kuna titala campagnola do bo alkal ta campagnola mume no bita campagne la usen da wala adu mota bon la fana kadu ka te mol kelo sato kal to sato to meme silo lato so kuma sifalo really anga kana song mol ko kachafan kadu ko dimina ko wolom mola chosan sato mela lon ka ko leka ke je alkalote iko ko non man ko be bondela Tonyola amafo campaign during the tour. Bari ayafu sukuta. Adi memfa yente malwa kumokono. Kabro 1996 UDP afa Adama Barrow nata kafu mema 2007 ntutanyine kumbola kafu kwa nyama nyana kela. Ni Hamad Babu yenye kumbole 1996 and I'm surprised kavuka Ahmad Basita on this tour kavuka alkalo la be threatening la kavuka be sula nga head newspaper la kavuka be sula mkuma sifano wote fama baka mfo ya jamema fako mkuma mfo fama la wala kavuka wala mtonyade banata da mala kavuka momo ko mfo wala mtonyade but nata kavuka mtonyade amanya na sonno kuma fo kafuto ate betala ka fobe surtout ateke ministry me responsibility wodla amanya na sonna wada yini yatinna mol ka ko politics dirty and politics not dirty wala la mol ka politics dirty bate katu really itete yaya jame campaign ka gezi ya jame ko be fa jame ka fuka kanyinka amanya na kela ite na turn around ka foko Ke card control employee.
Mari, are you surprised? Because what amante? President Barrow 22 years abe UDP. Abo opposition what? For than opposition ya.
Abo opposition ya.
But talk on amune for ako opposition money.
But ako ko mole diamu. Arebedo ko nin diamu ya jame bondi janto de.
Ako kunta ya fenko at.
Ngado kunta ya ato kunta bad fat namero manka kumati really Gambian ko nyante fa engage la menna hadama de mol do ni fo mol ke ila aklo la yara e college kar ko sanji mo ni fula ite momenti sa mel moti ite ko kolte fenti wada trattamento no wada mantra fento no mamma ni kan kala kutura li menyanta kala kacha kuti men kam malwa ko kono ni kumodo ala kamalu le ka ko na president lota kumodo fa dala wa kamalu le ko ntinyolo ibe siri be la mala ya fa man din ka kanto ya moy ya ka kaw kanta ya moy wala na zikavu ko he nyilam nyim banko dun ko nyino mi la nyaton ko le matun ka diam te wa kamalu bakale wa kamalu bakale ya fa ko oppositional te fende wala na clip doje rapado bafala ko bakoto bakoto fo jolte ina wardak ayayel male na do da way around ina me alon ka ko is quite distasteful. It's quite distasteful. Kaduka for president, it's distasteful.
But I think I keep saying this. Bangkok, every country needs a strong opposition, a strong media, a strong civil society to be able to hold government accountable. Minka Masakunda platform all the time, there's no credible opposition. And then sometimes even media for another rule question because of obviously we're trying to hold them accountable. Niko there's no credible opposition. Ite America opposition ole doyandi, but Bankola kumaya fonga ikola doyandi because obviously if you say there's no credible, Dr. Sissoko, there's no credible, and are you for Senegal? The Senegalese media.
There's no credible opposition. You mean there's no opposition who thinks the way you think? Ita ke mira nyame. Opposition to jamin ke mira koi ke mira nyame. Mira liya men kafuko amanke banko la nafate. Mira liya men kafuko mimo ko sambara banko kam. Mira liya men kafuko wala kafuko mtesimen sotno jumno mtesimen sotno ku manza kunda kono. 29 kafuko tellement que credible opposition ti. United, at least speaking for United Democratic Party, sanji tansanji mwani kono to jari mikala sanji tansaba ti. Yawe. Dinga fon ko ni jijaro ka watu kala faba equal make credible opposition ti. Nimme yo mi retele manke any credible person ti. Meli alon ka for B. It bears lowering on the opposition platform on credible politicians in this country. Mele alon kafoko itate yefan wafi wala manka credible politicians nyote and wala miralinya cannot be the way we think, and la miralio is more for the bankudin la khaju anila nafa not me alon kafoko aben sustain la to provide us a source of living. Honey, we can't tell me in politics. Not until man credible no. And then, dunya be long, at least UDP movement in Bangkok, UDP movement West Africa. Ibuka Gambia la kumo fono without UDP, and that is because we are credible. The period that we are in government, you cannot put anything on Ahmad Sani except Sobeya. You couldn't put anything on Lamin Diba except Sobeya. You cannot put anything on Hussein Dam except Sobeya.
How did you guys manage to do that? Because that's something I will keep asking. I remember 2021 presidential election. Anytime, go here, maybe just the last minute, people keep thinking, at least you were in government, there's some dirt, there might be some dirt. Corruption, but not a single member of Allah cabinet. Man finji min finta min satandi ko ale nyina ke ya on ka jele safu laro hanni ma kay to je barin ka fengol moyle nyin keta nyin laro nyi brato ila molbe nyin be ne mena
because don't tell a government with a belief, with a mission, and our belief is kafoko you have to be do ko kala banko yele nganiola ko di nyin te dun la masakunda belief la kafu kon kamen fa ya jamema international phone finalma be guarded against that malafi moya bulo chojin, and we are very mindful of that. Go na kuma kanake kuma kensin na mate kamen fa kunu ya jamema nan fa soto afotamma wanyanta kelan telefon falete because I'm malo, we cannot carry it. I don't come out for Nyame. Man doing that Kafka wanted money. I'm a son, I'm a chartered accountant, had a lot of clients, a lot of professional funko, Lamindeba, Alhamdulillah, all the farming activities, I was getting, Kala family sustained, no. So there was nothing. Me yalon kafko anyantentel push la ka start banko la start wal ketinya. In fact, men nyanta kwen telefon ngon sanyi jama men beke kelola wala nyanta kelantelie daliloti me yadna banko la start wal ni kanta. I traveled that a period men ngaja kafka no longer have any use pour kasejo muruta na ngaro menke jobate my protocol kafka ma ko so that I don't have to stay.
Yeah.
Longer. Can changing ke so that I can come back home.
I remember Lamisani said that in the documentary.
Nata.
Yeah.
Nata, I know because I'm not entitled to it. Because you have to spend it. It's at a time moment. Inyanta depends. Inyanta akodo use la jelto. Nima use. Adun really itate. Return it to government. Yes.
So back to the final question, Toto. Samate ko ibeki inata kian na seita number kian kabiwe kian Minister of Health diamta yako 2 years ago. For 2 years lo man kabata UN ako last September do UDP ko le mobilize kaneng New York kadenka mol mobilize pour kaneng ako bal nyina ngal mo nya so de nyina ngal alda malwe nyok mo faraka almo class.
Well, you say, Amadou, I really in political phone koto. Ala Carola. Aka ndi malum. Ndi malum. No? LS. Now we are classmates. And Benjamin school relationship. We still maintain that. And we have a lot of respect for each other. And really, for Amadou Ndinglomu, Nimoya Banning, you offend me. Kadu Abama, Kadu Abama Muskendelti, Momanyana and Nena, political Carola. But my surprise is ne Amaduko UDP call. They may be Gambians, but not necessarily UDP. Loved her, Wala Amadu. And I do ko. And a professional funko. Mobile is on the Kavuko, Ayala do Kolonia. Mobile Yakulala do Kokam. I do love to go. I continue one year. Gala professional funko, I continue. Yes, my son. I'll be happy to see him. You have Professor Gomez, technocrat, Mabuka Moi, in political model. Hani Abdou Job. Yeah. You become a political model. Well, for body look. Professor Gomez will come sotole. Will come sotole. Be Amadal Mbaya Marlamen as my son. Kodukare. Kana double political niaje yake misafe ala professional competence ala professional qualification kavoko he will add value to our health service delivery system. Problems will be gender, he'll approach them and address them professionally. Let it be a political wala be dialanye malafi ani molbe news malafa ni mo sada kavoko UDP kolo Bunada ko UDP ko ba UDP lo pose ngalo amada mafaru fana meta jago ako Gambia UDP
diaspora
ko UDP diaspora ina hanu bango kanjani ko kaf ko UDP ko lo ndo ko ata kensenke but honestly I really like Amadou to really be a political, and I'm giving him this fatherly advice. He has a bright future in this profession. I don't know. That's a long way. You know, akana sung aning Gambian kodi nyoda political kan. Ala do community. I implement all policies will defend, but let him stop being political. Mbaya marlawan.
Baroko kia ako join aka. Ako silang yo politi yin don tuje ira ambition o tuje e join aka bar ngam mal furo ka bi nka ko ala baroko yal na leader ta join aka sila ali da hala fa ka da handile nga ngol furo ni nka.
Well, ena fa ba mano ay nyori to meliano ena yake.
Ana baro mano. Foi mama ya minfo. Ako the Gambian di advice kan. Ako ni abondi ni abondi ye plaso di modola. Ako bita luso lo nyin la ka nyini. Anda te muruna nande.
hanna lafta murula te murula lan
akate muruna nan
hanna lafta murula nan ate murula nan
aben dandala kanede pro yalo ngadra ngari elect
hanna lafta murula nan ate murula lan nan ado abitale adiyata abitale 2026 adiyata abitale akuyata adiya abitale ndenga mera nyanta menkela ala afaga menkole ko alien bunya alien koroma sanji tang akanyanta alimbenga den kote nga moy kote njube ndesa wode lafta aliadi karla kana ka Hussein Dawood ay ke mo kote ndesa aliadi karla wala be nyinyala
be silan ka fuka joina ka min fudu nyaadi lo pe wakide na joina ka
kay ko ngi pour nga joina ka ya jamano kono minista dole ne ne ofanya kay ko he ente de pour kata adam kata join ada ya jamia kay ko wode amira de popio tuba ke muslim wala be sono ala wodi
to baro fana ni sono
popio tuba ke muslim wala be sono yala ni tangata join tangata NPP tangata ka join ala
to wo ko yala
katu ko satole bole tinyaka wotome tata yo fodame that was a pure campaign. Pure campaign. A mantra government policy fanka. Bankudu la haja mantra fanka. Go on picking quarrel with VDC, Imam Fana, president.
And in Badibu, Salike.
Picking quarrel with people there. President.
Ano mingina grauta in one of the in URR, ngama fungulilo fo Sandubang. Ako wala ko diyan na ba fala niyo ko lafta niya alten tulang aming kali
yamune ke atela fate
ko do ndi fo
folle ma hanata bankol folle ma te bunya yamol be jube ye kato ka ko na ngeke atela nyan tol tentula ke jay atela lahido teye ko alin kite vanan banyin kelali so nole ku kai atenjan tol letelen nyan to tentula katu tumamena abe majum estate amanke fendi amune ke wulin koli amune ke sankule kundan koli amune ke sankle sal kenyan koli man kaman kundan abuluta da amune ke yel so mole pala so dila ijikitela kafu kumpe pala men dilela na hajo libelo lola ngana kumol fa kafa ko ngana wasida kafa ko mama manyana wasila but ye wasidi le ya fa nyentan tent la ngamen kali
janna ka do nyin ka
but jutuna ya lomo but akadiam mel ajututa wala
bara wol ke badi ufana akobe bana
wala nko akadiam mel ajututa wala
ako badi bun ko le ko ninkana anga ko kale wato wati ako wata pe sira be batalal nkole fo jutuna ya man tambi wala akadiamu meli ajututa wala akanyin jutuna ya diamo memfo wanafa abojala 2026 abojala 2026 oh yes ame molu alfa kumbanil besirin kafole ko alnin fankenda kabka kelen president meli ya kendi tele ke president eka kibir palace we tele sindi jeto dunia bunya ite mu dunia bunya no faso be yo bunda yelete wo mo ite mol tento fota ka fol ka ten nyantante tento lale adi kamen ke yeta manke la kodite dip tele ko kodo allocate fatman rabo jeto nabe slow da dala ka bo mo de kunda kala dip tele mo kodo wonma ko slow men fo sali kenya Suleiman Saho wala approve amanka la koditi namna na Suleiman ba fula mole kana finti muna na Suleiman ka mole kana finti
muna na ka mole kana finti
ka tuba ko pesa wakana
ni bita propaganda muna na nyanda fundila ibita propaganda na bita government business la of course na matala wala na ko UDP government
atol beto
hanyo nimba kala
because Gambia to nato nya Gambia no imagine to malla fala camera send ya na kira nte haje logo is kind of political and at the end of the day you have to pay me for me to come and cover this. Stories more on labor. Kana camera will in the kana kodojo. I don't feel it was necessary because I feel it was, and I think a lot of Gambians say Ajeloko is political.
Well, yeah, no,
you man sakunda ibe mune kela kajiko bankola kudo makana wasting sanji nani million keme fula and him one say meet the people told on sanji nani.
They'll be the politicized level. Oh, but according to constitutional law, ono ita bolong kono the community ita ye kutema ye lamaila ila hajolo ifana ila mansukunda ye planal mensoto kuola ila dulalto ya explain here in the first place nintel bitali dama the regions nyolo all the National Assembly members me as president Mbebe Safelale signed the letter go bitala executive legislature bita ko mena it's a common problem melanka we all address it because you come to the National Assembly can the honorable minister of so and so inform this August Assembly what and so and so for affecting his constituency. So we'll invite all National Assembly members. Betala Milla Dulalto, and the letter, if it invitation, will be signed by me, not by Chief of Staff or by Secretary General, to show the National Assembly members that you are co-equal partners in this matter. Will be done. And of course, in the regions, you have directors. In all the regions, director of health, any region strategy, you have a director of health. Any region strategy, you have a director of agriculture, director of education, regional education officers, you'll have them. And at least in North Bank, you have the Farafenni District Hospital. You have the administrator yet. Bansang, you have the referral hospital yet. You also have the administrator. Buyam General Hospital. They all have administrators. The hospital administrators together with the regional directors of health, they should really be there to give you the technical backup. You don't need to take the Minister of Health. After the Minister of Health, we will also be depending on those officers, Jeto.
Yeah.
We will depend on them. The same thing for agriculture. You don't have to take the Minister of Agriculture. So these regional directors, and maybe have the senior assistant secretaries in these ministries, also to be part of the delegation. And it will be a very lean delegation. It may be very lean delegation.
A politician will transport.
No way. No not a bit of do kola. You don't need that crowd. You don't need ambience. Nimpare tala wala wato bena. Mbe kankula rokelale. Kavu ko UDP ko bi. Mina UDP ta molla de. Man la fi feñal na man kenete mun kodi. Na funde ngata UDP ko kan. An Gambian ko mela no kavu ko imantra UDP bari ko party ko tendo kana to join us. We'll do that. But really the government could not spend lamenka. What will be a very lean delegation. And and the period for now shouldn't be that long.
Yeah.
Nimbanku nile kacha ila digital fana bijeto ila digital fana liye kumo fo ila ftamene ila banko mole ila banko nyat. Yeah, and we take the notes halfway through the tour. The technicians have a review meeting of problems, and then we are getting advice directly. We get advice directly from technicians. The regional director of education will tell us this problem you intend. I suggest we address it this way. I suggest we address it that way. What's going on? In that way, you will not even spend $10 million. You'll spend far less than $10 million because we didn't have to go with all these, I don't know, several vehicles. The petrol consumption high, accommodation, everything.
Motokende masakundari ka
yeah better. And then of course the government comes to a virtual standstill because ministers are not there, permanent secretaries are not there. So many additional tala, they are all out there. This is where we'll do it.
Yeah, well, they were until thank God until we are not covering the tour because we feel like it's campaign and we are not covering campaign for anybody for free, so we cannot do it for government. So could be tolerable. So I think a lot of government.
I tell them 4 million almost.
I didn't tell master. No offense to man 4 million also. Man can also to man 4 million. But if I look at nakeda mobe se equal ntolo fe falingo yake mi alonko ntolo ani mobe mbenga equal opportunity because me Gambia.
Yes.
But I think and the funny thing about that, and I heard you say that the other day, taxpayer funded media mimu JRTS nimba wota la campaign la beka ka live stream leti but nintolo nga opposition, any opposition can live stream thing, people have issues with that. And most of the time they pay us even to do those things. But ninto go problem with it. But we don't see anywhere but all in campaign will be abe Hanisukuta rally was live stream for
live stream, yes.
100 for news from 1K.
Yes, yes. Yes.
No, but it's always a problem if we do it. And I tell people in private so you don't tell us how to dictate that, even though we have editorial policies. But these are things that we all see openly like that. So it's unfortunate. But
Well, JRPS, a bit decline can all along, and our fast declining stars alama neman kafar kalai under Mr. Jeng Malik. It started decline rapidly, and now it has reached the bottom with this. Is it Mr. C? I told Mr. C Lamba.
Yeah,
with Mr. C. Because at the Malu. Kavoko, directive Kavoko, no dissenting views.
Well, I know the example of that because the reason show I used to pay over how many million every year for this show because got percentage share with the advertisement. But my show was stopped 2021 because of an interview that I did with you. Because they were controversial, it should not be aired. Because if I air, then I will not bring another show. Man show donati if I'm a So that only tells you that's the dissenting view.
That's right. But then that also shows the level of political interference.
Yeah.
And also how strong is the moral fiber. Because look, if you want me to do something that is unconstitutional, that is unlawful, that would put me a bad light, I should be able to say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not going to do that.
Sometimes, sometimes even I don't think it's the government. Because for me, for example, that show, right? The government did not see the content. It was the program's person who saw the content, and so it was not fit for them to broadcast.
That is why I'm saying Kafoko, the moral fiber.
Yeah.
They lack the moral fiber.
Yeah. So sad.
They have got strong moral fiber to be able to stand up. Well, independent institutions, I say there are no independent institutions. You have men of high integrity heading these institutions. Nema mol sota me yalon kafko idajikata. Mol me yalon kafko ibetonya fasala. No independent institutions no head. They become worse. Note, like Ombudsman is an independent institution. I mean, the Auditor General's Office is an independent institution, But Nima Mod Sotojet Melan Kafoko, they are persons of integrity.
Yeah.
Independence, they will not be able to assert it. So, when we like Kafoko independent media, and I think it's section 207 of the Constitution, media full control. If you have a man who has, strong character, who is willing to work for the country, as head, as Director General of GRTS, nobody will complain. There will be equal access to all manner of views on that platform. But because you have somebody there who is a plasticine,
it was very beautiful, at the beginning of the transition. We all had shows there. There were dissenting views, obviously, and it was very beautiful, and we were all watching. But hopefully, the election or policies will change. ID cards, 2021. The other Molko elections are won before the election day, right? I remember we talked about the ID card cool, ID card issuing in certain countries though. And again, Hanisa have continue. Now, and I keep saying this, when I lived in the UK one time, passport, they gave me emergency passport. I traveled with that. I don't know for Hanisa I work So what is the need for government to deploy resources? And when you banko can jampure ID card soto. ID card expired.
Still now.
ID card expired. Hanisa my ID card soto. Na passport or na ID card right now. It's difficult to get ID card in the country. But Gambia no mimbe bantala banko dolkang banko immigration ka wuli banko be kan katawo to ka ID card di wala. Moko mafo kubije. But dolko ay hakilol so ko health malong atul opposition alfana aje falfana aje wol nyam mol ka aje nyam ba
wala nte malla fa fala ka fa ko fa election purpose lamban ko abe di kan nyama ni luwa manta so ba ni luwa manta kuna me alam ka luwa ya baile luwa ya memfo you have a registrar for national identity cards and registrar ni parent ID card issue, let's say, in Combo East. Iba gazette lale. Ya wato fo iba dila wato iba kala kumasla wato menda. And the governor fanambe notice issue la. Kakibaro janjandi Combo East tema. Alkalol ni sefo ya. Kibaro janjandi ka ko ni lunkari ID card yo be kumasala ni tata fature tata lafta ID card la formally bijeto kamem feel ito wulu wata wato mena everything ka ko mo gambe dingleti ami nyanta ID card so o formo nyin National Assembly member or Justice of the Peace or for the Banjul city of Banjul and KM, the mayor or mayoress, a designated officer and JP, designated of Melalon Kavu, Walanya for money co-countersign. Say Mauritania, Ibalka Jumal Kumandal Mauritania. Domino Jumal Betala Mauritania. Jumal Betala to authenticate what forms no. So when you law for your comedy. But damn man can't.
UDP, like I said, what UDP have contributed to Gambia jurisprudence, nta calculate no, nta phone no. Basically, abe matole. But when I nimbe ke nta pula sa encourage you. Hansa manfenje man lawsuit je manfenje alba menkeka.
Well, anyway, yalong at least we've shown kawako in the first step tale. Wrote a director of immigration. Of course, beyond him, let us write to the Minister of Interior. But we know Minister of Interior is not issuing them; it's the Director of Immigration. Alamol waleba issue. Yeah, man. So we've got that letter, and inside Jube, member can tell for the Kaf company nekela.
Okay.
You know, but really, can you memfo? Yinam luade. I do not recover ko nyim ko nyim luade nim ko wote ngam fo man ke to nyate buko luwa ni nati ya itani af ko nyino luwa nyino mate iteka me fo to embassies no on the Government National Citizenship Act they can issue passport renewals of passports, not issue new but renewals, because there's a renewal section jeto is a main stamp or they can issue you an emergency passport to travel.
Yeah.
That they can do. But a national identity card is issued in the Gambia here. Penfe yalon kaf ko is outside the Gambia, and in Silamenta, I didn't yalon kaf ko ibet left tapale yale kalara. I mean, really, you are in for trouble. But for the election in Binala, it's not going to be like any election day.
Yeah.
Gambia, yeah. Gambia la ko bebe dende election order. So, how ID be card member? I don't know. I have come correct. And then coming for what I call IEC, Nyabal, Bal Korosla.
And for the next question, we told the IEC, we have a new management there. Joe Colley is the chairman, and we have one, Mr. So Jallo.
Mr. Jallo.
Jallo as the vice chair. He's a new person there. Joe was there when voter registration canary. And a lot of your lawsuits, Ali means IEC, a lot of things were registration time or call me kinaji Ali will jama bale site no ala lawsuit no jama babi jeno and voter registration no canal I think is in April, and then IEC could also to albe mune korosika ali mune expect with this new management.
Well IEC kuta soto
management kuto
no management kuta soto.
Okay.
It's just that one person moved out.
Yeah. So those select.
Yeah, those selendi. Then you more kutenati. The only new person there is the deputy chairman, Mr. Chano Jallo.
Yes.
At a dominant new person. Yeah. Otherwise, it's the same old gang. And I'm sorry if I use the word gang,
yeah.
not in a derogatory
way, yeah.
Not in a derogatory way.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry saying that it's the old team.
The old team.
Old team in Abijato. Yeah, man. So old team in, yeah, man. UDP has issued a statement when Mr. Colley assumed office. We said, well, we welcome him and we work with him.
Yeah.
But we hope that things will be done properly. There would be no, cutting of corners. So the burden is on them to really continue to enjoy our confidence. The burden is on them.
But as a party also, what are you doing? What measures are you putting in place? Voter registration, one, to grow your base, to recruit more young people, or to register them, but also to monitor. Because
no.
So, and obviously, at the last case, to Ali,
we will monitor it. And in fact, we will ask the inter-party committee and Neake Salam, Nemake Salam, then we'll do it on our own. Yeah, in claimant, you even come with an ID, yeah, IEC, for their own integrity, they should allow our agents to inspect that national ID card. They should allow it. That's it. You just don't come, your ID fenke, without scrutinizing, and you register somebody. We'll tell them that we should do that if they want to uphold, the election's integrity, because it starts with registration. But if you refuse that, then yes, you are conniving with people, ID card. Because at a glance, you don't scrutinize it. You have an ID card and you say phone call, a voter's card.
Yeah.
Even the phone call, the birth certificates, yeah, man. They want to scrutinize them. Because Naramin discovers that, and up to today, we have asked IEC to give us those birth certificates. Email you. They are not doing it because you have one birth certificate. You have photocopy. You have photocopy, and then I give it the same 10 of it, the same serial number.
Wow.
We give it to different people. That was you to use those ones to get voters cards. And we have asked IEC, they will not produce it because they know that has happened. And this time we are asking them, if you are men of integrity, you want to protect the integrity of these elections, the birth certificate, the agents should inspect it. And then take note of the serial number, so that nobody comes with a birth certificate with the same serial number.
I saw in your lawsuit, Fananko, it was alleged that some registrations were done outside the time frame.
Absolutely. But coming off, Mr. Carr, I think is the PRO.
Yeah.
I thought that was a distraction. He didn't say that is not true. I thought that was a distraction, no statement. But we have the evidence. Fatu, you know.
So the 2021 will be a lesson for UDP going into this registration.
That is why we will be engaging the IEC first with the interparty committee. Now the interparty committee is not interested in doing anything. We'll approach IEC as a party. Therefore, we think we should do these things, because in that way, attender integrity will become unquestionable. But if you don't agree to these things, then it means that some shady activities, you'll be condoning it. And of course, I think you are men of integrity, so whatever will really protect your reputation, you should agree to it. Yeah.
And I think that is for IEC.
That's why
it's an independent institution. So I think anything that will help to enhance
the integrity, their reputation,
they will welcome that.
I think they should agree to it. So that if there are any suspicions on the part of UDP about them, those suspicions will be cleared. Then we'll have no ground to make any allegations against them.
To make any allegations, Let's look at politics. You are officially the flag bearer for the 2020 election. Nga fonu janade. Iko nyoko ni duwata nye. Nko yoko
ture more.
Karanta more amakaranta.
Nakaranta wali.
Namankara akata more.
Nakaranta akata wali. So wali duwata nye.
Duwata. Baru kurusa mana. Dua kurusa
bayanu moro la dua ni la dua ni bodle e ko camera nya.
Now you're the official flag bearer of the party. Right after that, later the diaspora tola and kabrika na ko UDP. That would be not wrong. Ni na yin convoy back also mo baro bina. Wala ka mbero ta But right after your selection as the flag bearer, we saw your entire campaign team, 2021 campaign team, resigned. Some said the allegation was they could not sell the candidate anymore. It was not marketable for them. Now we saw that Ale team falling, but it looks like the football Barcelona, ni a team or a replacement or not. How powerful is the replacement that you have on your campaign team?
Well, anyway, also but
how strategic are you going to be?
Cover cannot be sold. Well, yes, obviously, and I respect them. But for Ninkabo, Nema Paraka Wafi. So, woman do. I think, Alhamdulillah, you've got Molu, Melaron Kavako, Ibijeto, Hannata Nunfang, ko the resignations manke, Pari Kukotan Kata, Adum Modwa, Femfene, Kavako, for him jewel that for replacement Lesotho. So a replacement means Soto, I am Yafa, content Arabaki. They are all experienced politicians. Suleiman Sah, of course, Mobe Alone. I mean, Mama Politico Kono. It's on the inside and outside. Inside National Assembly and outside of and Pamane and Wajuara Karanding Law. Pamane, Wajuara Karanding Law. alhamdulillah ibedo ko ya commencé adan jusola bake, and what is more melalon ka ko wale vita for those positions like organizing secretary, the gentleman in Combo South, he sees himself as the organizing secretary.
Yeah. The Bojanga.
Yes, he sees himself as the organizing secretary. Mr. Jaite, Omar Jaite, sees himself as the campaign manager. Mr. Yafa sees himself as organizing secretary. So because of that, believe in the party, they assume the role of the organizing secretary, which they were not elected to perform that role for the good and for the benefit of the party. Yeah. And ngaji kafako ibedo ku kende kala and kajal kafako Bojang. It was after the selection ayo fonko ayo rally Jambanje rally happened to bring Alamolu, to bring them into the fold, to the party. And there's something more, member Tabikang, West Coast Long Powerhouse. So there's more cooking up yet. No get a lumena lomo, kumakalanta jamaa binafala kotenke.
I am bila question hotel because so far ni kaini boro te mamuna bije mina hotel kato boro muka moja bina nkete wolo mo sa fengo boro muna kere biza daro don boro ko le jami but mina hotel. But how united is the party today? Because I remember me and you, we had this conversation several times before, and I told you, we saw a lot of division in the party, but at the time, you said it was very minimal. But after covering Faramansata, obviously covering the last kachal konyoko yajil and kachal ka kola, but it looked like, among contained. But B, after all of this, UDP brother, somebody like Ibrahim Diba. I remember when we had that conversation, I was sure he was at my house, and when we were talking about Sabale Konyako, Nata Numboch Sedi Kandetata, Nata Ibrahim Diba Letata, being affected. B Ibrahim Diba Tata. How are you doing?
Without him? Fine. I'm doing fine without him.
Okay. Politically?
Politically. Padu. Minimal relationship kata tembeleto.
Yeah.
Menya long kavoko and choko ndi naketa jeto. It can affect emotionally.
Yeah.
Ada madi yalo modi. Ngamemfo ni Ibrahim Diba dalta nyame. Ni mo saba ni mo dalike.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, mo saba fana na din kenelo.
Yeah. But it was a different level.
It was a different level.
Yeah.
Ni Ibrahim Diba futata tembo mendo ni mo sabal fana futata tembo tonum. Really, it could have the same effect on me. But again, when you lose a son or a daughter, a dear son or a dear daughter, you go on grieving for a while. But after all, it goes away. And you adjust. And that is what is happening. That is what is happening. Calling him for Ibrahim Diba is his choice.
Yeah.
Honestly, B, Numukunda. That I can look, Baba, I don't agree with you. And he goes to another party. Yeah. I will take it. Of course, that is his view. That is his choice. That is his view. That is his choice. But then, he will not, of course, keep away from me. Because he is Numkunda and he is my son. Ibrahim Diba is keeping away from me. That's okay.
Yeah.
But politically, honey, politically, well, mansoto. And again, I don't want to say anything, but I could predict in the story of the prodigal son. Could. Ibrahim could be a prodigal son. Could be a prodigal son. Martha Bekalabar could be.
Could be.
Could be a prodigal son.
Okay.
Yeah. know? So really, now politics is going on fine.
Yeah.
And just yesterday,
Yeah.
you know, had a big delegation. I mean, every day I'm having new people coming in. Every day I'm having new people coming in. This weekend, it's going to be virtually 12 hours activities for me, both Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
And in areas, yalon kafoko wabi na mirada. Yalon do kodolo.
Yeah.
Kul kakele akadol diming.
Yeah.
Kul kakele akadol avko ho yara fanya bekere odanta fanya bekela ten. Mammenjo kunung. Bimbo jeka ngala ten tu.
Yo jele bi ko di.
Mammenjo kunung.
Kam ko ay mol kidindi.
Absolutely. So really, but then mama udore manka konta mama ko da benga nyati lim banko da purunte adama dum banko la jankoro ta dum banko la kurangti o kurang ni bajara le adu bajara no nyame ka adama ka bondi ni palasoto. So for kukatan kata on the side, woman take clock kanta kuti mume nyama mega adama baro. Ka bondi. Adu ni ala kitana. 2026. Akanyin kumol me fote wala mati nyarangti. Wallahi wala mati nyarangti. Hey, nanyin mandiga kebalu. Si yanyat lele. Ika fo ka almanyin fenka kasapuye. Okedi minne de.
Yeah. Okedi minne.
Ibuka kuno jeto. Adama ko damade. Yeta VDC chairman Mahmoud Fana ina banyo sabala na wo suwa ka nol dunta bun kono ka fala ka funyo nyama nyaton ko tiba nyaton kay kasile yella moy men diate ya moy na mandiye ya moy ni tada kuma me yame moy amandiye ibbe makla so nyaale ka ko kana ko tenke wadlato me yol bulo fala inyanta yole topoto ye diafe yena me yat na yok mofo yeta yo topoto
yeah
ni murutanam adobado ito kuma sifa mo la kotenge ya bati nyakande wallahi adama wato wanata meeting ke dawda anata taja aka kuma la men katinya en kala pol jinde
maybe adama team and I keep asking this because no, I understand because nka molje molka mobe se kumo fa adama buka moja barite kumandin for the killing for the wrong that yalo manikole yalo manikole. I think the other day I said because in a popularity room because all the time President Barrow remind President Fulton Kenola Nyimbankoka killing the man. And obviously, it's in reference to you. Mune bene adama te rawa political damage.
Political damage no. Not that cannot be anything personal between me and Adama. Political damage no. Maybe manzo a UDP mentor. Or the mena bada. Maybe. But manikol ko neke batral lani. Sila dala. Tambole avesor tambola. Memuta. Wale adimi wale badimi ke kala bake. No. So maybe UDP ana fa ya ka ko ala
UDP ko ala loyalty
ala palaso ka bo palaso ana ka ko UDP la kala wala ma sababoti
wala ba wonde
nga wale ka ni ma fama ndine kama ka ko la dabo ma baro sindi wala wajindi ngam
demokrasi la do demokrasi baro sindi tere ba bonde wala fo but finally coalition Gambian jama ko yalo president ko incumbent Kasembo Sotol mo believe ta ko ka baro bonde asike ay kolya do mande ni mol man kafo andung kafo be kala nyaade because hani baro coalition olam de
coalition
NPP ngatonya funyo NPP man yeso to nyama de tonya is a coalition of parties NPP ntem tonya looking at the numbers, they don't have a base, but party jelebije. Well, it's a coalition. So UDP fanang, would it not be strategic for UDP fanay kafol 70 fangola ni left baro bonila because incumbent law. Same boy mi baro fonko di same boy menu jame bulu babul. Ako ba ta fangola fatal economic babul. Andung na ranke so ba tere bulo kon. Because obviously this meet the people's store and others, they are all means of how to mobilize people.
Yes.
Now UDP be mun simfanya le tala puruka coalition sambo nyatonka. And I think it's not just you, but even ila surrogates online. People should not just dismiss ko ntol ba keno lam fonge mo ma foi ta keno lal fonge. Bari ni mole be nyola mi alon ko malaf kata folode. So nim president malaf kata foi fane fake demandiye mol kafundika. What is UDP the strategy to make sure a coalition or a asonende puru mol be na together puru la candidacy ka sem gena sembentu india ni bitani election ko. Bi ni karte ni opposition o janjanda kate ka janjande. So womu feniti mi alon ko malon fal ba mi rakaneba.
Well, kakafu nyoma. Manke koti menene mantara na miro kono. Wato wati ebe na miro kono le. Adung so kafo fande kafula fante kafula umukuleti ma yalon kafo ko anyanta la itama. More partitional nyantale kachali ke barbiton malong kulbe temberamento adobato fanan kul sitra keri mam bomel kalama wala adobato sit bodol kalama bari na kanya afka fanyadi le kafuko nyadi discussion. Yeah, can maybe manya na femfala.
Okay.
You know, but coalition certainly nalo na kafuko kukum malomu adu nimmenko mandali la soto ko be ko dila wala wato barola siyo janto o kala siyo sono yande ebo be lafla wala barbitum coalition be parallel coalition kake ya lo ni nav keledo mo be itela miraliate amira nyanta kala nyame ikole fo so albon le kachala ite amira nyanta kala dami do ya mira ngol kacha
bari amira nyesi lo alo so na independent le fo party le
hani bitum won mo kulet me yalo kaf ko really ni mo fen photo ni bensi fato amul ta kafo ko ibe dara soronka okay adum mamira ko nyanta kala
iko min ikafnya di ni tulubusa kilima ikafnya di
ni tule mem fa if bafa
ni to
ya pengulenje asife babitu yalo befana mo wo befana mo sandoleti asando may not fit every situation.
Especially
sandolum sanomel kafa is a warning and advice.
So finally actually it will not be fair because something me and Talibia Fantella Shoto Young, and I think it will be fair to give you a response to that. Because for me I said this more opposition oti Benyantanala together like you said, Baro is that elbe siranka. Left alto opposition left at Nina Fonte, Savio Feda Vidia, don't media journalist. But I left at Bondele. So that's why for me I always say, the back and forth, I don't do it when it comes to oppositions. But he said this on my show, and I think it will be fair to, just ask that question. Because obviously when I ask Wolom, barite afuno ko nin Darboe lo ta fenkela ako Darboe ite moleki akampura ya foko na nite lo ta atelola. Did you do that?
Muna had number more kilaya. Yalo nyimala fi kasanya mo.
Yeah, I didn't even want to ask, but this one, I think for my audience,
no kiaya. Kadu really woman muna de kavoko mbanya nyinina tabi nyantante nyaninna ndema nyana tabi nyaninna de ba kamo ka kafa akete umbanyi ba munyanyi ninglete ni mo nyanta nyaninna atele nyantante nyaninna amanke kumati me yala ka sotota bare mo me ya mo men ki ko mo men tata anyita ya mari tofo kafu ko fature lam fature nata ko misadaba ko teniten balu benten talib tema fa lafta men fulan ta fulay muna yatina besila la kam ko ma fa muna be ngomala ka kuma fa patio me yalon ka fa ko sanyi mun anin kononto mbo ma nyaton ka yala ngalaf kula jeto mola karla mo fono mari mol melan ka ko ni lafta palaso la patio ko na ka fa ko lafta nyim palasi dafa lafta nyim palaso le mun mira ndel bina na wal tala waliya kamo ki waliya ka fa ko ayaf ka alafa kare ko ay nyimfo bari yana nimme fana yomayde enyanta anima Usain Darboe nyanta soblalade avoko hani mamira Usain Darboe sininke so bari yano kamen fo barolum tala problem mode bukola konga fo nyame fa fo nga fo nyam ko nadin sabanya was a mistake Fenda and Talib they are in the same age bracket so no kuwa mnyo dunia kuoto nawe niwa sabala akumola hani and then Fenda they are in the same age it's them the same age groups so no to kala mumeke momo karo ndala focus mo adama barole de nimmen data me fem famma e fem insinuation ke abatata bay ni tata ñosa bala melka in the social media e kamel befa sometimes molka itala ka ko yo nyine fo it's okay it doesn't matter but I can tell you ko entete talib nyanyi ni na talib la nyanta kante nyanyi ni halo be nyama so nene mamo kiaya ko ngome kiaya tofo ngalo mari bitu mari bitu asina na unyininka wa Mr. Darboe bula indaba simple but as far as I'm concerned I don't want to talk about this anymore. I want to concentrate on getting Barrow getting Barrow out of theater. Fanata falinta de na molfa ya jame ko ya jame to stop this. Aboke if you stop doing that, then we are friends.
Barrow ko meluso nyila ka kumani ka fa murunande.
Adungal kambe ko fra kortorim punye bojanto.
Ako meluso tala ka nyina nduna be ake murunande.
Ko
he will not return back.
Ko nyama be murunan. Nyama be murunan. O satara ye bondi nyame. Wala ni horomota ta da ni tamtamundi ite ni la muru wala na and of course
so mambande abi yenyi nimfo yang abi yabe akana kombole
and baba zo not banyu na bakele wala
wala fama mo enjoy borode
ya lom president wato do ko mo len tatina ka ni ka ko excellence asa
nungu wa ko ateli akunya bimba fule ko his excellency ateli asap
bara fama UDP le akade ka fa excellency
atoya
UDP le ma select an kanyina le yalo